Alrighty, what's going on, guys? This is not the editor, but this is me on the TBE podcast channel. This channel is probably going to be rebranded at some point soon once I come up with a new name and a picture and a banner and all that stuff. But for now, it's going to be the TBE podcast. If you're not here from my main channel, I will link that in the description if you want to go check that out. Gaming videos over there, news and methods and whatnot if you want to go check that out. But today, I've decided we're going to try to make this like a little wrestling channel. I know this is kind of niche, especially within my community, but I'm down to do this because I got a whole year to wait until GTA 6, so I'm going to make some new content. And yeah, we're going to try this out and see how this goes for a little while. Currently, though, today, we're going to be talking about the Backlash PLE, as they call them these days. Not PPVs anymore, not pay-per-views, but they're premium live events. But we're going to be talking about Backlash. For me, this is kind of going to be a review. Also, I'm just going to be going over it, talking about it. Obviously, one big thing that I do want from this, if anybody's watching this, you know, the 5.5 people, leave your opinions down below as well. If you disagree with anything I say, go ahead and have at it, because this is going to be pretty opinionated on some things. I'm going to say what I like, what I didn't like, and it'll spark conversations, so go ahead and do whatever you want to do. But we're going to be starting off with the first match of Backlash, which was the Fatal 4-Way for the United States Championship with Jacob Fatu, Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest, and LA Knight. Yeah, so this one was actually pretty good. Not gonna lie, this match was pretty good. It was a very good start to the show. This card was pretty light. Like, not light as in, like, not a good card. I just thought it was light, like, damn, there's only 5 matches. There's no Jay, there's no Rhea, there's no Io. You know, it was a little weird, you know. They built up the Jay and Logan Paul thing, and they're not here. And the Rhea and Io thing, they're not here. All that stuff, but regardless, I get it. They've got a lot of stuff going on. So 2 weeks from now is going to be the Saturday night's main event, and then like 2 weeks after that, it's going to be Money in the Bank, and then in the same month they got the Night of Champions or whatever going on. So there's a whole lot of PLE stuff going on. So I guess it makes sense as to why they're spacing stuff out. But back to the point here, the match between these 4 gentlemen was very solid. The one thing that did get me down a little bit, it was a very good spot, but I knew we were never going to see him again for the rest of the match, was when Priest chokeslammed Drew into the table back in the crowd area over there. That, like I said, it was a cool spot, but I was like, damn, we ain't going to see these guys for the rest of the match. So it's LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu basically after that, so I was like, this is going to be an easy dub. I really didn't know if Solo was going to interfere or not, but he did. We had Solo, and then this new guy, Jeff Cobb, comes out. Another member of the Bloodline, showing his face, and Jacob is confused, kind of. He's like, what the hell y'all doing? You know, I don't need y'all. I can do this, you know. And I like this, like, kind of storyline we're doing. They are taking their sweet-ass time with this Solo versus Jacob thing. And that's one thing, you know. As long as it is good, then them taking a while is fine. There is quite a lot of storylines going on right now, but with this whole thing, I am very excited to see it. I do want to see Solo versus Jacob. Does it have to be for the U.S. Championship match? Excuse me. Does it have to be for the U.S. title? I don't know. I don't think it does. Just them going at it would be fine, but who is Jacob going to lose the title to? That I don't know. So maybe he has to have it. Who knows? We'll find out. I'm guessing at some point, this is what I thought this was going to happen at Mania. He was going to try to help Jacob beat LA Knight, and then he costs him the title, and then that's what starts the whole thing. But no. Maybe at one point Solo does cost him a title. Who knows? We'll see what happens with that. But overall, this match was pretty solid. And then next after that, we had Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch for the women's IC title. And this one was really good as well. One of the best one-on-one women matches I've seen in a while. They went at it. Good promos as well leading up to this. And I'm interested to see where Becky's heel run goes after this, because I really thought she was going to win this. I'm kind of glad that she didn't. My pick was Becky, but that's not who I wanted, I guess, storyline-wise. I wanted to see Lyra keep the title, and she did, so we'll see what goes on with that. But yeah, a lot of false finishes in this. It was pretty cool. Really cool. They put on a nice one. A lot of pins that were very close. Very technical moves and stuff. Very talented wrestlers, these two are. And then after this match, we had Penta versus Dominic Mysterio for the men's IC title. This one, I really wasn't too interested in this match personally. I know a lot of people are, but I just figured Dom's going to keep the title because obviously we have to have this Dom versus Finn thing at some point. And I kind of feel similar to the way I feel with the Jacob and Solo thing. This Finn and Dom thing, they're taking their sweet ass time with it, but if it ends up working out and it goes well, I won't have beef with it. But where they're taking so long and they're edging us with this, and it turns out to not be a good feud or something, that's gonna suck. How it's gonna work, whether Dom's gonna leave Judgment Day and become his own thing, or Finn's gonna be kicked out and do a face turn, however they do it, I don't know. It doesn't really matter. As long as it turns out good, then I'm cool with it. But yeah, Penta lost. Still a really, a decent match between these guys. I didn't love the match. I didn't hate it either, but I thought it was okay. And then we had, after that, Pat McAfee versus Gunther. Now, I will say, before this pay-per-view aired, I hated this. I hated the idea of this. This sounded so dumb. It went better than I thought it would have, but it still wasn't great. This really didn't help Gunther in any way at all. If you're a Gunther fan, there's a lot of those out there. I'm kind of indifferent on Gunther. He's very good in the ring. I will say, I do enjoy watching his matches. His moves are really good. He's a very good wrestler. His whole gimmick, though, is just boring to me. Maybe that's my problem. I don't know. But did I want to see him face a commentator after losing the title to Jey Uso? No. Was this match good? I wouldn't call it good, but it was decent. There was some emotion in there. You had Michael Cole out there. I thought Pat was going to win. There was a couple tie-ups there where he had the pin, and especially when Michael Cole was holding his foot down, I thought that the match was done right there. That would have been really fire if that would have happened, but it also would have sucked for Gunther, because that would have made Gunther look absolutely horrible. The only way for that to be fixed would just literally be him getting up and beating the ever-living hell out of Pat, and then beating up Michael Cole after that, I guess. But I will say it did turn out better than what I thought. I thought what was going to happen was, as soon as the bell rings, Gunther puts this guy in a sleeper hold, he instantly falls asleep or taps, and that's it. I thought it was just going to be a squash, and it's done. At least they gave us some kind of entertainment with this. I guess you could say it's one of those quote-unquote fun matches. I don't know, like John Cena versus John Laurinaitis back and Over the Limit, which main evented over CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan. Keep that in mind. But yeah, that's really all I have to say with that one. Not really much else to go on. But now we have the end-all, be-all, the one last time, John Cena versus Randall Keith Orton in the main event for the undisputed WWE Championship. This match was really good for me. I loved it. These guys are pushing 50, but it was still so good. These guys can, after all these years, can put on such a good match. One thing that I have seen some people online dissing on, but me and my good buddy, he actually brought the idea to me, and I loved it. R-Truth interfering, where Truth and Jimmy have been having these little skits and stuff on SmackDown leading up to this, and then also Truth like kind of stopping Cena and saying like, hey man, no matter what you're doing, I always got your back, John. He said, oh, well, maybe R-Truth interferes and costs Randy the match or something. And at first I'm thinking, no way, but then I'm like, well, if this works out, that's great. R-Truth is from my home area, Charlotte, North Carolina. Shouts out to R-Truth. But yeah, that made it a whole lot better. I'm a little biased though, because I love R-Truth. R-Truth is one of the GOATs out there. Very underrated, very underused. He has had his good moments though, and this one is one of them. And we also had Randy going on an RKO spree against literally everybody and their mother. And then the punt kicks going on. Randy hitting the attitude adjustment on John Cena twice through tables was really cool. We had him hit it on him at the announce table, and then hit it on him on a regular table outside of the ring. And then all the RKOs and false finishes were insane. The ref was down for a lot of this match because the ref has 1 HP, and if they get tickled, They fall over and they lay there for about 15 minutes until they get back up. But I think it worked out as best as it could. And I think that, hot take, you might want to shoot me for it, but I think this was way better than Cody Cena at Mania. Because, I mean, Cody Cena at Mania was good, but no Rock. We had Travis Scott show up, no Rock. You know, that's a whole thing in its own. Making only Travis Scott show up was just a really weird decision. It was so strange. Cody got his get back on him by hitting him with Crossroads, but then Cena just beats him anyway. Then in this one, we didn't need no Travis Scott. Get out of here. No Rock, we don't need him because he's not going to show up anyway. We got R-Truth, the real Rock. This guy right here, the GOAT. Our guy. Shouts out to R-Truth. This is the best way this match could have went, in my opinion, for this whole thing. And then also, one really cool little sweet treat that we got at the very end of the night, a lot of people probably didn't see at first, was during the press conference, John Cena randomly shows up, whispers into Hunter's ear, and says, "Hey man, I gotta say something," or whatever he said, I don't know. And he sits down, he talks for a second, saying, "Hey, I gotta be better with you guys," or whatever. And then R-Truth comes out and he says something to him, and John Cena stands up and he's like, "Ron, if you don't stop talking, there's going to be repercussions." He attitude adjusts them through the damn table. I loved it. Absolutely amazing. Shouts out to these two guys right here. Shouts out to Randy Orton as well. These two guys did put on a barn burner, in my opinion. This match was fantastic. As a whole, I think this pay-per-view was fantastic as well. It was only five matches, but I think they were all pretty good. My least favorite of all these would obviously be Pat and Gunther, because it really didn't need to happen, but it was better than I thought it would have ended up being. And then my favorite, the GOAT John Cena versus the other GOAT, Randy Keith Orton. Randy Orton. One thing I did want to touch up on is at the very end as well, after John Cena wins the match, he picks up the mic and he says something about looking for competition and stuff like that. And then he puts down the mic and he kind of walks around, goes up on each turnbuckle and stands there. And then he kind of stares at the crowd, kind of looks around for a minute, and then he gets out of the ring and he grabs the belt, he looks at the belt whenever he's about to pick it up. And his lip is quivering and everything, and he looks like he's about to cry. I don't know what's going on here. And then he walks out. He puts the belt behind him and he walks out. Very interesting there. Not really sure. And then whenever he gets into the little press conference, he's talking about being better with the fans. I don't know if this is going to eventually work towards a face turn again for Cena. If they're going to do that, this is way too early for the face turn. That should be like after summer. Like, don't do that until like October, November, like at the ass end of this retirement tour. I don't want it to happen just yet. But yeah, hope you guys did enjoy the video. I'm going to go ahead and end it here. It's going to be a little over 10 minutes here. I don't know. I'm going to have to edit a lot of this out because there's a lot of moments of me coughing and then going blank. I'm not used to making this, and this is off top. I didn't make any kind of script or bullet points, which in the future I probably will do because I didn't realize how hard trying to freestyle one of these things would be. All I'm doing is just looking at a picture of the match card and going off of my thoughts there. But yeah, hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, drop it a like. If you didn't, drop it a dislike. If you guys want to see more videos like this, hit the sub button and you will see more. Other than all that stuff, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
I ain't got no more talking.